Hello, in this video I am going to discuss about electromagnetic induction. So before moving ahead, let's first revise what we already know till now. So we know that a charge at rest will produce electric field, and a moving or we can say or a current carrying wire or a charge in motion can produce magnetic field. So just like a charge in motion can produce magnetic field, now a natural question arises is that can a magnet in motion can generate electric field? So this is the natural question to be asked. Since a charge in motion can produce magnetic field, can a magnet in motion can produce electric field, which means does the reverse effect possible? And the answer turns out to be yes, it is possible. So in 1830s, Faraday and Henry performed various experiments, and the result of which was that a electric current is induced in closed coils when subject to changing magnetic field, and this phenomena in which a electric current is induced by varying magnetic field is known as electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction, it is the phenomena in which electric current is induced by varying magnetic field. It is in short form it is also written as EMI. So let's briefly discuss what were the experiments that were performed by Faraday and Henry. So here I will briefly discuss about them. So let's take experiment 1. Say in experiment 1 we have a coil which is connected to a galvanometer, and here we have a magnet. So when this magnet was bring towards this coil, what was observed was that there was certain deflection in the galvanometer. Okay, this was observation 1. Again, when this magnet was bring away from the coil, then there was also a deflection in the galvanometer, but in the opposite direction. And similar for the case of if we put the south pole towards the coil and away from this coil. So and there was no deflection when this magnet was in rest. Say if the magnet is in rest, then there was no deflection in the coil. So the observation was that even without having any external power source, this a certain current is flowing in the coil just by bringing a magnet close or away from this coil. So this was the observation from this experiment 1. Now consider this experiment 2. Here again we have a coil which is connected to a galvanometer. Say this is coil C2, and here we have another coil, say C1, which is connected to a battery. means there is a certain current I which is flowing in this coil C1. Again, when this coil C1 is bring closer to the coil C2, then certain current started flowing in this coil C2, and when in the same way when it was taken away from the coil C2, again the galvanometer show deflection in the opposite direction. So there were many other experiments performed, but whatever we want to take away can be understood from these two experiments. So now the question was asked, so what is happening when this magnet is taken towards or away from the coil, or when a current carrying loop is taken towards or away from this coil? So what is happening such that a current is flowing in this coil, So it turns out to be that, so let's think about it. So when this magnet must be creating some magnetic field, and here in this case also this current carrying wire would also be creating a magnetic field. When we take this current carrying magnet or current carrying loop towards this coil, what must be happening is that the number of magnetic field lines through this coil C2 must be changing with respect to time, and that as a result must be responsible for the current that is flowing in this C2 coil. That is what we can think about the experiments. So to quantify these things, we have to understand a quantity which is magnetic flux, which is denoted by phi subscript b, and it is defined as dot product of magnetic field and area vector. So it is the number of magnetic field lines passing perpendicular to the area vector. So what is happening is that when there is a relative motion between this magnet and this coil, the magnetic flux is changing with respect to time, and which is responsible for the induction of induced EMF, and which again is giving induced current. So on the basis of these experiments, Faraday gave a law which is known as Faraday's law, which tells us that the magnitude of induced EMF is rate of change of magnetic flux with respect to time. Here I have put a modulus sign because here we are considering the magnitude of a induced EMF. So and if we remove this modulus sign, a negative sign will be introduced, that will be due to Lenge's law, that we can see further. So this was the basic introductory video about electromagnetic induction. So that's all for this video. Thank you.